I hope it can project. You can see. Vezada Salt Company Limited is a salt-making company based in Eastern Kenya region, where it controls a large portion of market share. In its most strategic plan, the shareholders of the company approved the expansion of its business to cover for the first time the Western Kenya market in order to improve on its profit. The market share in Western Kenya region is currently dominated by Mazombo Salt Company Limited. After many years of unsuccessful trying to break in the Western Kenya market, Vezenda Salt Company Limited had advised to enlist the support of local distributors. Draft a standard distribution agreement that the company could use to approach a local distributors for purposes of penetrating the market. So this is the first question. This is every time you are in an exam, you are asked a question. In commercial, the general practice or how they ask the question most of the time is that they don't combine topics. So most likely you find if it is partnership, the question will touch on partnership alone, or if it is companies, it will touch on companies alone. If it is mergers and acquisition, you touch on those. And then you must know the keywords. That is the most important thing in a question. You are given a story, but you must identify the keywords. The keywords are the ones which are going to help you in answering. So the keywords here. Who can tell me the keyword in this question? We can start with Ruth. What is the keyword here?
I would say Western Kenya.
Sorry?
And Eastern Kenya. Okay, what I would say is the target,
yes,
which is the Western Kenyan market. And what they control is the Eastern Kenyan market region.
Okay. You have heard what Nani have said. Nani, Anthony Liwali. What do you think is the keyword there in that question? Keyword.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
On matters of drafting,
yes,
the content is very important. Let's say the parties,
yes,
the territory,
yes,
and the appointments of the agreement,
yes,
and even the distributor responsibility. So the contents of the agreement, what are they required? Is it the address, the name of the distributors, the target, like my friend Ruth has said, the territory? So the content is very important.
I'm asking.
Yes.
You know, I'm not asking what the question is testing you about.
Okay.
I'm asking you the keyword there in the question. You the keywords or word. Pick it the way it is in the question before we go on the content.
The domination. The domination by Mazombo Salt.
Okay, and let's give another person. If Goge unmute and say, what is the keyword there in that question? Keyword or words? Just pick the words there from the question.
I agree with what colleagues have said before. I don't.
You cannot be heard.
Okay.
Ongeza volume.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the word you're referring to.
Eh?
I don't know the word you're referring to.
Okay. And you add your volume. You can't be heard kindly. Yeah. Haya, next is Kerry and Kerry. What is the keyword or words there in the question?
Okay, good morning. Okay, to me, I'm seeing expansion of business and improving profits. I don't know. That's it. Yeah.
Haya, Marianne, what is the keyword or words there in that question? 1A.
I think I would go with local distributors.
Okay. So the keyword there in that question, the keyword there is draft a distribution agreement. So all the other details which are there are just support. It is going to support what is the key. The keyword is draft a distribution agreement. All the other things, the Vasenda Salt Company, Western Kenya, this blah blah, all the details that are given there are just going to support the keyword, which is draft a distribution agreement. And these are questions which has never been tested before. So when you are revising the purpose of the Q&A, which I've uploaded on the website, is to help you revise on if a question comes the way it has been asked, the way it has been asked in the past from 08 as I uploaded, or use the knowledge in those Q&A to answer a question, but there are instances where the question has never been asked before. So in these classes, we will also look at futuristic, we will also predict the question that has not been asked. So we don't only look at the past, and we only look at the future. So for your revision, if we know that we have another commercial class, I'm going to do a mock question if time allows. But for your revision, please write down this and try to the past drafting that has been asked in commercial are there in part B of 2008 to 2019. You'll see them. But the one that have not been asked and there is a possibility they may come, you can write down are the following. In companies, topic, which is also included in insolvency, you can be asked about drafting a memorandum or article of association. That one, practice. Go and practice because of future. You don't know what will come. Another drafting that may be asked is drafting a merger and acquisition agreement. Practice, look at it somewhere and practice. Then drafting a joint venture agreement. Then drafting a franchise agreement. Then drafting a security rights agreement. That is security rights topic. Then drafting a trust deed. That is under commercial agreement topic. So that is just on my own thinking. You can also practice which may also come in may also come it's highly unlikely to come in commercial, but it may come in civil litigation, drafting a debtor's petition or winding up a petition of a company. That one may not come in commercial, but if you practice it, it will help you in your civil in a question that is in commercial that is asking the same, or in your civil litigation. So practice on those areas. So back to our question. I told you to draft. Did anyone draft? And can you, if you are drafted and you are ready to present your draft for others to see, I have you can present.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I had attempted, but it's not in a state to be presented. I was going to request that we do it in the later session, because my class, we're in class with Kerry, and we started doing distributorship yesterday. Yeah, so Malimu had said he'd share with us a draft so that we can go over and draft. But personally, I had attempted, but it's not good and it's in a sketch version. So maybe like if it's possible, maybe in the either in the evening session or tomorrow session, I'd be ready to present them.
Okay. Sawa. Any other person? You know, drafting is is a skill, and I put it. You read doing by exams document. This is a skill that you acquire by doing it practically, and of course you test yourself on the skills. So this is very, very important, and we are going to do a lot of drafting in commercial, in criminal, and in civil. There are in civil litigation, there are 40 different types of drafting that need to be done, and criminal the same thing. So this one you must be ready to do it practically and present. I'll be assigning drafting, so we can skip that question for what Marianne has done. We will do in the afternoon or even tomorrow, as he has said. Be ready, Marianne. I'll give you an opportunity because I don't want to. I want you to do it practically. You present and others people can critique. That's the only way you can learn. We go to question B. In addition to enlisting record distributor, the management of Vezenda has approved an aggressive marketing campaign of their products in Western Kenya distributor, Western Kenya region. It has identified a local marketing company and proposed a joint venture collaboration with it in order to successfully expand into that market. Later, a legal brief detailing the documents that will be required by Competition Authority of Kenya to actualize the collaboration. So that is the question there. So there are keywords there. For you to be able to answer the question, you must identify the keywords. What are the keywords, Ruth?
I would say a legal brief about the documents.
Okay. Next person, Anthony Liwali. What are the keywords there?
Besides the legal brief, the aspect of drafting.
Yes. And then Eva Ngugi, what is the keyword there? Keywords there?
Other than what you said, it's also a joint venture collaboration.
A joint venture, and the next?
Yes, that's
Sorry?
that, a joint venture. Yeah.
Okay, joint venture. Joint venture. One of the keyword is joint venture. Mary, Kerry, what is the keyword there? The other keyword apart from joint venture?
That's the main the main one I see, but management.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the main one.
Okay. Yeah. Sawa sawa. And Marianne, what is the keyword there? Another keyword apart from joint venture?
Documents. The documents that will be required by the CAK to actualize the collaboration.
Good. So this question is testing you on two things. You know, this is not a legal writing and drafting class. Don't be confused by the words at legal brief. No, you don't start doing a legal brief because this is not a legal writing and drafting class. Unless, of course, you are told expressly in a commercial class to draft something. Any other language used in commercial, you just list. So don't be confused by the word legal brief. This is not a legal writing and drafting class. So the keywords there are joint venture, and documents, which is required by Competition Authority of Kenya. So, and this is a question of 5 marks. So these people want to do a joint venture with this local company, marketing company, which does not do, which has not been given the name. Then you are told the documents that will be required by the Capital Markets Authority to actualize the this agreement. So, what are the documents? We are going to start with Ruth. What are the documents the CAK needs to actualize the joint venture?
I believe the joint venture agreement.
Yes, that is one of them. You list 5, then you get your 5 marks. That is one of them. You have another?
This is guesswork, but they are financial standing statements.
Yes, the last audited.
For both of them.
Yeah, the last audited accounts of the both companies. Another document.
Let me read that.
Sorry? I'm still on.
Let the rest, because those are the only ones I could think about.
Okay. Antonio Liwali, what are the other documents?
Memorandum and articles of association of the company.
Yes.
Address of company. A list of directors. I think those bundled in the memo of articles of association.
Okay. Yeah, though you can say you can also that is also correct. You have others, other Nini?
I think that's all I can think of.
Okay. Then Eve Ngoge, what other documents?
The lot has been paid. I can't think of another one.
You are not okay. We go to the next person, who is Carrie. What do you think?
So because the main function of the competition authority is to check whether this particular joint venture is going to affect the market. So if you've done some, either if that particular business has some, like a study they've done on the business, or they have some business model, or sort of like a strat, or whatever it is that they are planning to do in that particular market, that would be helpful for the competition authority. Thank you.
Okay. Marianne?
I'm thinking maybe like board resolutions to okay the joint venture for the companies, and maybe in line with what Kerry has said, maybe the competition authority would also check the exclusivity or non-exclusivity agreement, so that they make sure it's in line with the Competition Act in promoting competition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, board resolution. It is one of the document, and generally the documents that are required, this is just 5 marks, and I think you have named all of them. Of course, the first thing is joint venture agreement. Then there is the board resolution of both companies to do a joint venture. That is a second mark. Then there is the you can state the documents of registration of the company, of both companies. You can say memorandum, as I think it's Anthony who has said memorandum, articles of association, the good standing annual returns, the good standing of the company. That also will earn you another mark. Then there is the last audited financial positions of the company. That is another mark. Also, you can also say that the joint the application form is another document. It is called it is application. Of course, you fill the documents in the application form called notification for merger or joint venture, and with those you'll have done yourself good service. To that question. Any other document that I have may have not I have let me see here. I'm going slow so that you write. Also the covering letter or introduction email. Then business plan or models. I think there's someone who has said that. The audited financial statement is for the last 3 years. So this is a new question, has not been tested before, but if you look at your Q&A in the past, those who have subscribed or those who have purchased, there is questions on joint venture, and if you have studied those questions, you see joint venture processes. You use that knowledge to deal with this question, even if it is coming for the first time. So that's why I usually tell people that it is very, very important to subscribe to the Q&A, because the knowledge you study in the Q&A, the question may not come exactly as it was tested, but the knowledge that you studied there diligently will help you answering a question. Yani, hutakuwa without any idea. So we go to the next question. The Kenya oil gas sector, C1C, has been growing steadily over the years, following discoveries of which oil deposits in several parts of the country. Vifusi Company Limited and Robi Company Limited are companies operating in the country, and their annual turnovers are 850 million and Kenya shillings 550 million shillings respectively. Vifushi company wishes to combine operation with Ruby Company Limited in order to be able to compete favorable in terms of government tenders with foreign companies currently dominating in Kenyan market. Advise Vifushi Company Limited and Lobby Company Limited on the regulatory requirement of the new entity under the Competition Act 2010 and whether or not they qualify for exemption. So there are three keywords there, or statements which will help you answer this question. What do you think, Ruth?
I'll start from below.
Yes.
Whether or not they qualify for exemptions. So we're talking about exemptions.
Yeah, the keyword is exemption. The exemption is a keyword to answer that question. Another keywords to answer that question is what, Anthony?
Yeah, the keyword is the desire of Vifusi company to combine with the Lobby company. I think the merger. They wish to combine. They desire to combine. Sorry.
Yes, the combine. The keyword is there, combine.
Combine. Yeah, they desire to combine.
The keyword there is combine. So when you see the word combine in an exam situation, what does it tell you they are testing you on?
Merging, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Merging,
they may be merging, and they may be also be combined. You know, combined, it can come, you can combine to merge, or you can combine for a joint venture.
Exactly.
Yes. Think of those two things, two areas. Then another keyword is now the legal requirements of the new entity to now combine under the Competition Act. So the Competition Act also, of course, asks you about it takes you to the Competition Authority. So this question is related to B above. This year they were asking you the documents for this company to do joint venture. This one, the question they are asking you, the regulatory requirements for you to merge, for them to be allowed to merge under the Competition Authority, Competition Act by CMA, Competition Authority of Kenya, CAK. And as I told you earlier I think we talked last time in conversing, when you are answering a question, read all the subparts A, B, and C before you start answering, because you may realize that you are answering this part. The answer you are getting, you want to do for C is you had written in B. If you see yourself doing that, you know that there is one question that you have not done well. So in question B, they were asking you about joint venture, and these were documents. This one, they are asking about merger, and this is the regulatory requirements. And mergers and acquisition takeovers, it's not a very easy topic. So you need to answer, to study very hard. Then of course, the question also is asking you about the exemption. So, Eve Goge, you are next. What do you think about the regulatory requirements for merger by CAK? CAK. What are the regulatory requirements of the new entity?
They're required to register the joint venture.
Sorry?
Register to register the joint venture.
Yes. You say that you say that you do an application for registration of the merger through a notification. It is called a notification for merger. That is the document. You do an application. That is one. Another regulatory requirement. If Google, I'm still on you.
Oh, the next question.
Sorry,
It is changed to the next question.
I can't hear you.
Okay. I think just get the next question. That's okay.
Other participant, can you hear what she's saying?
No.
No, imagine we can't hear you. Don't fear to say anything. We are in a class and this is how you run.
Okay. I think if you can just go to the next question. I don't know why that's clear.
I can't hear you. Kerry, what do you think another regulatory requirement?
Okay, I mean, because this one is specific to the under the Competition Act. I'm just thinking now at the point of filing, fulfilling the requirements that are required by the Competition Authority, and this could be for the new entity. So like the similar, like what we were discussing before, documents that one needs to file on the entity. So documentation on the two, what are they? The other entities, the on the either of the two, not either of the two, what are they called? The Vifusi and Lombi, their individual financial positions, their individual registration, individual details of what what they're involved in terms of their strategy, their plans and their approach, their models and that kind of thing. And then now what they intend to do as these new entities that they intend to have. Tenders with foreign companies currently dominating in order to be able to compete favorably in terms of. Okay, yeah, that's what I would look at, because the Competition Authority would also be. Yeah, let me think through it, but that's what I'm thinking through, like just all the requirements, as has been provided for in terms of filing, and then what exactly you'd file with that. Yeah.
Okay, a good trial. What do you think, Marianne?
I think with regard to this question, I feel like we follow the procedure under the Competition Act. So I guess it starts with the takeover notice, and then the authority requires information from both parties, which I think you can refer to the documents we've talked about Bill, like Kerry has said. And then there is the hearing where the authority gives the parties an opportunity to be heard. Usually they'll give like a notice for the hearing to be heard. And then, of course, in the meantime, the authority is considering the application. And then the authority will make a determination on whether the merger is good, or maybe it will restrict it. And then after the determination, the authority will notify the parties in writing. and maybe probably publish it in the Kenya Gazette and 2 dailies. And then the authority can also give its approval on the merger, although this could always be revoked if something comes up, like maybe there was fraud or material misrepresentation. So I think that's the procedure. The exemptions, I think it's those matters that do not fall within the scope of the Competitions Act, but I cannot remember which ones they were.
Okay.
So that's all. Yes.
That's a very good trial. That's a very, very, very good trial. So, for the purposes of this question, see the following if you are writing. This is a joint venture. This is a joint venture that constitute a merger. Within the meaning of Section 41 of the Act. For the application to be made to the Competition Authority of Kenya, it must be a full function joint venture which typically a long period full function is defined. If you look at the competition general regulations, competition general rules 2019. If you want to do, if you are asked a question about merger and acquisition, this is an regulation you must be aware of on top of the Competition Act because it has the process. Full function, it is defined there. You will see it's a joint venture that must perform for a period of 10 years or more and carries the functions of an autonomous economic unit. Autonomous economic entity. Then now you discuss what, of course, Miriana have said. You do an application through a notification for merger to the authority. Which of course the competition authority will you can say merger documents. You don't have to say so many things. Then you say, of course, the Competition Authority of Kenya will make a hearing. of course, gazetting, they will also gazette the proposed merger. In Kenya Gazette, or even in the dailies, and I think you have seen them either in the Kenya Gazette, inviting any objections. Then after making the hearing, they allow the merger. If it does not infringe on the law. And one of the most famous merger was NIC and CBA. You can quote that one in your exam. It is a famous, and even after this class, you can go and see what it was, how it was done. CBA combined with NIC Bank and became, now it's called, I think, NCBA. Then on the question of exemption, regulation 20 of the general, this regulation I've told you, the general the Competition General Regulation 2019. The application for exemption, they can apply pursuant to section 25 of the Competition Act. The question is asking whether or not they qualify for exemption. You see, if you look at your Competition Act, which I think I want to, let me see if I can be able to project it for you to understand this question of exemption. We see what generally you cannot merge so that you restrict trade. For example, if you are a very big company, then you come together, you control the market. Just the other day, you saw there are people who they are. I shared in the group there. There are these steel companies that we are fined because they had violated the act. So you cannot, why companies apply to the competition authorities that you know, consumers are entitled to goods and services of high quality. And for example, when you merge and you are two big companies, you can control the market, which is called now the restrictive trade. So this process, the work of the competition authority is to look at that the businesses does not affect the market, and also the consumers are not affected. If you look at the, I'm trying here to open section Competition Act. And it is also regulates not only companies, it's also regulate trade unions. They don't engage in restrictive agreements or practices, or professional bodies. You see, so if you look at let me share here. If you look at this is Competition Act. I'm sharing. If you look at section 21, restrictive trade practice, that is the work of the competition authority. Agreement between undertaking, decision by association, or decision by undertaking on concerted practices, but which have the object and effect of prevention, distortion, or lessening of competition in trade of goods and services, or any part of Kenya, unless of course they are exempted. You see, so these two companies which are here, which we are told in the question, by coming together, are they trying to restrict? Are they trying to prohibit, prevent, distort, lessen competition in this industry? We are told this question, the oil and gas. You see, they are oil and gas. They have a very huge turnover. So are they trying to restrict? So that is the work of the competition authority. So if you want to qualify for exemption, generally that is a rule. But if you can, now we come to section 25, grant of an exemption. An undertaking or association may apply to authority to be exempted. Section A or B. Section A talked about Section A talked about restrictive agreement practices and decisions. Then this is for trade union B, so that is not relevant for us. The relevant which this is our section 21 is our concern. 21.3, if you read 21.3, without prejudice to generality of provision 1, that subsection applies in particular for any agreement, decision, or concerted practice which directly or indirectly fixes purchase or selling prices, divides market by allocating customers a price and areas, involves collusive tendering, involves a maximum practice or minimum resale price maintenance, limits or controls production, market outlets or access, technical development or investment, applies the similar condition equivalent transaction with other trading parties, makes the conclusion of contract subject to acceptance by other parties, or so those are the key indicators that we are going to amounts or use intellectual property H. Otherwise prevents or distorts or restrict competition. So those are the restrictive trade practices that the competition authority usually looks. So you may apply now for exemption. Despite section A, these people are merging, and any agreement, they are merging so that they can be able to tender. And in the question, so it's an agreement. You have been told that. So what are the considerations that competition authority will put into before they grant? They determine application for exemption. This is section 26 of the Competition Act. So after consideration for application, any representation by interested, the authority may make a determination in respect of application, grant, refuse, and issue a certificate of clearance if they grant, saying the prohibition in section A or B does not first form part. The authority may grant if it is satisfied that there are exceptional and compelling reasons for public policy as to why the agreement, decision, concerted practices of category of the same ought to be excluded for prohibition in section A and B. So for me, if I was answering this question, I would say that quoting section 26.1, section 26.2, I would say that there is a public policy by government to empower local companies so that they can be able to tender, because gas and oil is a very new area. And we are told that the foreign companies are currently dominating the current market. So by them combining, I would say that there is a compelling reason by public policy, by the government to they are promoting. If you have heard the government, they are promoting the local. Even the Kenya Kwanza government, they are promoting the Kenyan company. I would say in the quoting section 26.2, they're saying that there is a public policy in promoting local companies to be able to approve them, and in that way, the Competition Authority of Kenya will grant the exemption. Then if you look at section 26.3, in making a decision under section 2, the authority shall take into account the exceptions with which an agreement, decision, or concerted practice therefore contributes to, results in, likely to contribute in emitting or promoting exports. Then you can say the reason why the the competition authority will give not only a public policy on promoting local companies, you also say, relevant to our question, see there, promoting technical or economic progress or stability in any industry. Because we have been told in the question that the foreign companies are dominated this area of oil and gas. But now we want to promote the technical and economic progress and stability in the industry for our local companies. So, kindly study, for exemption, study section 20, because in you will not 21. You will not be asked about trade unions in a commercial exam. 21. Then 26. Restrictive trade practices. Then exemption. What you have just stated. 25. Section 26. And 27, revocation of or amendment of exemption. So those are the relevant question, the relevant answer in that for that question. So I think we can continue. The Fushi company repays what has had by your offer to guide them the process once here above. It have instructed you to conduct legal due diligence prior to entering negotiation with Lobby Company Limited. Explain the importance of legal due diligence and prepare a checklist to assist you to conduct an exercise. So, what do you think, Ruth? 1C, 1D. What are the keywords there, first of all?
You have no projecting.
Oh, let me project. Sawa. Now you can see the screen be shared.
Okay, the terms is the legal due diligence.
Okay.
And also that's also the checklist.
Yeah, the checklist before the merger. The legal diligence and the checklist. So, what do you think about what is your answer?
Mine.
Yes, I'm still on you, Ruth.
When you're looking at the legal due diligence, you'll have to look at the jurisdiction issues. You need to get more, what is it called? The permissions that you require and whether they fall due. If they, my head is just thinking about financial, but most of the, I think that is what regulations do you require? Do they qualify here in Kenya in this jurisdiction? Do you also need to register in the COMESA? That's what I'm thinking about.
What do you think, Anthony?
Yes, and regards to due diligence,
Legal
you
due
have to think of
diligence. Legal due diligence.
yeah, you have to think of the preliminary due diligence, there's a review and a transactional due diligence. The process of due diligence.
Okay. We go to the next person, who is if what do you think?
I believe there are phases for due diligence, if I'm not wrong.
Sorry?
I'm saying, in regards to due diligence, I think there are phases which I've just mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think if Goge?
You can start with
Sorry?
touch with the touch without touch with the
Sorry?
within the system. So you can start with doing the official search for the company.
Imagine I can't hear you.
Hello? Yeah. Can you hear now?
Sorry?
Can you hear me? Can you
Sorry,
hear me?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Sorry?
Okay. I'm saying like you can start with doing a search for the company. You're gonna start part of the due diligence.
Imagine look at your nini, your nini, your I don't know why your audio is not good. Check it before the next class, eh?
Okay.
Kerry, what do you think?
Oh, I don't think there's much I would add, as you know, to what Anthony has provided. But in terms of the importance, as the question is asking, the importance is because this Lombi company might present like different, how would I call it, different versions of their actual, say, financial status or their actual intentions. So you need to have an independent. So this due diligence gives you an independent view of this other company that you wish to engage in. So just stating that importance, and then now, as Anthony explained, now the processes that you need to take. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, did you hear me?
Yes, I heard you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Miriam, what do you think?
I think there's nothing else to really gather. So usually maybe at the preliminary due diligence, we gather the public information we can find about the company. Then during the review stage, we probably have signed like the confidentiality agreement. So we are able to probe more. We can gather like more private information that we could have not gathered prior. And then during the transactional due diligence, you can now access everything. You can verify the veracity of the information that you were given during even the review stage. And since you've acquired like the ownership and control of the company. Then in regards to the importance, you can just list like maybe the importance of due diligence, maybe identifying that any potential defect in the merger opportunity. You can verify the information. You can ensure compliance with maybe the requirements of the competition authority. Yeah, those kinds of things.
Okay.
Then with regard to the checklist, I think you can do the way we do the conveyancing one, where you look at the historical information, maybe the formation, the prospectus, the incorporation. You can look at the financial statements and the audited, unqualified audited reports. You can look at the compliance. You can look at the legal requirements if they've been fulfilling, like the contractual agreements, any warranties that you may not know of. You can look at their commercial agreements to see the dynamics around the company, the economic dynamics. So yeah, I think it's good legal perspective, financial perspective, operational. Maybe you can look at human resource. Yes, that's what I would say.
Yeah, okay.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Yeah, Marianne has made me remembered something. So like also in addition to that, like nowadays, I think also I find commercial very, how do you say, progressive in terms of the kind of things they're looking at. So you could also look at these other requirements, market requirements, for example, issues around like the current one of environmental and sustainability and governance, issues of ethics, like when Marianne was mentioning issues around human resources, what kind of policies do they follow? Are they, especially around the now talk of ESG, are they engaged in anything that is destroying the environment? Are they supporting the communities they live in? Are they just looking at what is it, just making profits? Are they, so those kind of looking at those other additional requirements that are there in the market. For example, because right now I know, for example, even the Nairobi Stock Exchange has a new provision, even for any company, for example, that is being listed, they will look at all these other added factors. Yeah, thank you.
Sawa. I think Kerry and Miriam, you have stated the answer. I did not hear you saying about investigating any pending legal proceedings. You that's also part of due diligence, because you don't want to enter into a merger or a joint venture where you get legal liability. I think Miriana has also said about very, very important nature of contracts that they have entered into. Also, yes, those two. The other things you have said, I just wanted to add the legal proceedings and nature of contracts. And this is a question has been repeated in the past. It's not the first time that is. If you look at in your Nini, the checklist in the mergers and acquisition is there. It's a repeated question. So we go to question 2 now. I hope you finish before the Nini. in the afternoon, we can do 3 hours to compensate. So question 2, Frida is a wealthy Kenyan investor living and working in South Africa. During the vacation, she decided to visit her former high school located in northern Kenya to remind herself on the hardships she underwent while going to school. It was during the visit that she encountered the reality of many schoolgirls missing several days of school every month due to sanitary towers. Freda also read several reports which consistently showed that the problem of sanitary pads was persistent in the region and it has adversely affected the performance of the girls. She's motivated by the fact that the education is the greatest equalizer in life. She believes that if she provides sanitary pads to the girls, she will not be forced to miss school and their performance would improve. Frida has booked an appointment with you to discuss the practicalities of her plans before implementation. Advise Frida on the type and characteristics of the vehicle she would incorporate for the purpose of distributing sanitary towels in her region. So those are 4 marks. So now this is another topic. We have come out of mergers and acquisition and all those things. Now in another topic. So question 2A, what do you think is the keyword there? Ruth, in that question, key A, 2A, what is the keyword there? There is one keyword there which will help you. Of course, there is that story, the whole story there, but there is a keyword there in 2A that will help you in answering this. What do you think?
The vehicle.
Anthony, what do you think? The keyword there.
I think the type of the company to form or the venture, business venture, sorry.
No, I'm saying.
Yes, yes.
You read the word from there. The Ruth have said the vehicle.
Yes, yes, sorry.
You don't, it's not a keyword is just a word you pick from the question.
Advice.
Advice. What do
Yes.
you think if Google audio is not working well? Okay, Nkada, what do you think is the keyword there?
Distributing.
What do you think the keyword there? Commercial. You see, you think in terms of commercial transaction. Keyword there, Marianne?
I agree with what they're saying, but the other thing is, I'm wondering is if this is an income generating company, really, if we are distributing pads to assist girls.
No, I'm saying before even you got what you are saying, the wondering, what is the keyword there you can see there? No one has gotten the answer. The keyword there, these are in terms of commercial.
Could it be characteristics? I don't know.
No.
Incorporation.
Yes, the keyword there is incorporation. The keyword there is incorporation. In terms, if you are thinking commercial, and if the word care is incorporate, what comes into your mind when you are told to incorporate? What is incorporation, or what happens after incorporation? Marianne, because you have said that.
After incorporation, we form a juristic body.
Good. Juristic body, which is a separate legal entity, which can be sued and be sued. Now, that is very good. Incorporate is the keyword. Now we are dealing with companies. This is a question on companies. Incorporate. Now, There are different type of companies. So this person want to do those things, all those things you have read there in the question, and he can projection. He was living in South Africa. He went to the school that he was and found that the girls did not lack of sanitary pads. And now she wants to incorporate a company. Because the education is equalized, that these girls will not go to hospital because of sanitary pads. So he wants to know the company that you form to actualize those things. So if you have a knowledge of companies, different kind of companies in your commercial class, this will be a very easy question. Which kind of company do you think you would incorporate here? I'll start with you, Ruth.
A non-profit company. I know it.
Yes, a non-profit company. What is the name used in commercial transaction?
Let someone else help me there.
Okay. You have identified as a non-profit company. Then this non-profit company, Anthony, what do you think is the name given in commercial transaction in your company's law?
Okay, besides being a non-profit company, it will be a private company, not a public company, a private company.
Okay. What is the difference between a private company? You have said, Ebu, repeat your answer.
Besides being a non-profit company, it will be a private company as opposed to a public company.
Yes, a private company.
A private limited company. Yes. A private limited company.
Yes. Yes. The answer is company limited by guaranteed.
Okay.
Yes, that is the answer. You know, a private company is incorporated for purposes of making business, making profit. And in the past, they have asked question on how to incorporate a company, private company, the documents. That is a question that have been tested. Kada, you can say.
Yeah. So actually, I was to answer that one for a company limited by guarantee, because of the facts given. Through that, one can have trustees who can help in the non-profit endeavor. So like that would be one of the justifications or one of the points I would give to her. So because she lives out of Kenya, with having these trustees, they would help in ensuring that this particular mandate is delivered. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Where did you get trustee? You have trustees.
Sorry, I meant the guarantor. There's something that they do. Okay, from the non-profits I've seen that operate using the guarantor. Actually, it's the guarantor. So the guarantor, there's something about some trustees. I don't know. Okay, let me gather my mind together. Yeah.
Okay. So the answer here is company limited by guarantee. In a question, you'll be asked about a company. They want to incorporate making profit. Just know they're asking you about a private company. And you can go to your Q&A and see private company question. I've been asked in the past. Also, they will ask you about company limited by guarantee, which is now this kind of question where someone does not want to make profit. And the word there to guide you is incorporating. He wants to incorporate. That is the keyword. But it does not want to make profit. It is for sanitary pads to this girl. So it's non-profit. And then you say, the question is asking you, type and characteristics of the vehicle. After saying that is a company limited by guarantee, say the following. A company limited by guarantee does not usually have share capital or shareholders, but instead have members who act as guarantors of the company's liabilities. That is what Kerry was trying to say, I think. In a private company, we have shares or shareholders, but in a because it's not for shares, not for making profit, but instead in a company limited for guarantee, we have guarantors who undertakes, each member undertakes to contribute amount specified in the articles. So, and of course, you say is another point that we have said there is that it is not used, it is for non-profit. That is another characteristic. Is an entity which is registered or incorporated, which has a different separate legal entity from the people who form it. Kerry?
Yeah, sorry. I've realized now where I was getting the confusion. It's because I've seen, I think for some reason or the other, several non-profits that were previously registered as trusts converting into companies limited by guarantee. Probably that's the reason why I had that kind of confusion and being encouraged to do so. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. That is another area you can be asked in an exam. Write it down. It has not been tested, but it might come in November. How a trust can be converted to what Kerry have said, to a company limited by guaranteed. Go and study. Then you can be asked, how a private company convert to a public company. This conversion thing, be very, very careful with it. It's not an area that have been tested. So go and study conversion. I'm giving you a link for November exams. And it might come. Different types of conversion. So, another type and characteristics of a company limited by guarantee is its certificate of incorporation state that is a company limited by a guarantee. It will state that. So there in certificate of incorporation, if I had, you people who are practicing, I think you have seen that. Another characteristic is that the liability of its members must be limited by company's article amount, which members undertake to the asset of the company. I will say of it is to attribute in event of we know the documents required to. That is a question that they ask documents and the process and it has been asked, not been tested. Please go and study. You go to question B. Suppose Frida opted to register a trust under the Trustees Perpetual Succession Act. Analyze the particulars that will be included in application for incorporation. This is a new question never tested before. Under the commercial agreement, the course outline, I saw trust deed. You can also be asked, as I said in the question, to draft a trust. What is the keyword? What are the keywords there? Marianne, what are the keywords there in that question?
Particular to be included in application for incorporation.
It's not incorporation. Oh, yes, incorporation. For its incorporation, yes. Particulars that should be included in when you are registering a trust. Incorporation, those very right. What do you think? I'm still on you, Marianne.
I honestly don't know. This one I'm nominating Kerry. She sounded like she knew about it. I don't know this one.
Ruth, what do you think?
I would underline, analyze the particulars.
No, we have already identified the keywords there. Is the particulars. Is the particulars. You give the particulars that will be included in application when you are registering a trust. And is of course the trust is incorporated under this act. So we have already identified the keywords. I'm asking you the particulars.
I don't know. I'm opening the act.
Okay. Anthony?
Yeah, I will try. The articles of the association, the names of the directors, the address, etc., etc.
That's a very good trial.
Thank you.
What do you think, Eve? What do you think? Eve Goge, what do you think? Is your audio working? Sorry?
Can you tell me?
Uh-huh. Media, Kerry, what do you think?
Yes, so yeah, so it doesn't have probably much more detail, but I think one of the things I think that happened in 2021 is there was this differentiation of different types of trusts. So now, first of all identifying this particular trust. So this is a charitable trust. So identifying it as a charitable trust, and then putting together the trust deed. And then in this trust deed, now you'll have the different trustees. You'd identify the objective of the trust. You'd identify the beneficiaries of the trust. You'd identify things like maybe your source of funding, the what is it called, like the duration of the trust, those kind of details I would have in the trust deed. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Miriam said she does not nini. Who has opened that act? Can you open it? Is there one who has opened the act? The trustees perpetual succession.
Yes.
You have opened.
Yes.
Ruth, can you read section 3.1?
Okay.
Or you,
Section
I give you, you will be able to project?
Now let me just read.
Okay.
Section 3, incorporation of trustees.
3.1. Okay, you can read the whole.
Okay. Any person or body of persons who have lawfully constituted themselves for the purpose of forming a trust may apply to the principal registrar for a certificate of incorporation.
Okay, that is
okay,
relevant.
Continue.
Continue.
Okay, the principal registrar shall, within 60 days of receipt of an application for incorporation of a trust, grant or reject the application. Where an application is rejected, the principal registrar shall give written notice to the applicant, and the notice shall state the reason for rejecting the application. Where an application for incorporation is approved by the principal registrar, he or she may grant a certificate accordingly, subject to such conditions or directions. The trustees shall thereupon become a body corporate by the name described in the certificate, and shall have perpetual succession and a common seal and power to sue and be sued in their corporate name, and subject to the conditions and direction contained in the certificate to hold and acquire, and by instruments under the common seal to convey, transfer, assign, charge, and demise any movable or immovable property or any interest therein now or hereafter belonging to or held for the benefit of the trust concerned in the same manner and subject to such restriction and provision as trustees might so do without incorporation.
So, I've told Ruth to read because in an exam maybe you ask about just like the above question A, the process. The process is there, and also the nature. That is very, very important for the question. Then we go to section 5.1 says that I want to project here. So if you look at section, the screen is loading, it is load. You are now sharing the screen. Participant can now see. If you look at section 5.1 of the Act, it says that the application to the principal registrar, of course, will be rightly signed by person making it. Several particulars in the schedule So the particulars are in the schedule. That is section 5.1. So what does the schedule say? The schedule says the following, and that is the answer, and I think Anthony has said the sum. The trust deed. Then statement and short description of the property. Held or intended to be held by the trustees. A statement of previous registration. What Ankada was saying that, you know, some of the tasks was not incorporated Kitambo. Or a company, and it's the relevant certificate of registration or exemption. The name and address of trustees. Anthony has said that. The proposed title of a corporate body, which has the word trustee, and registered shall form part. The proposed device of common seal, and then the regulation for custody and use of common seal. So in future, that is the answer to that. In future, on trusted, study the process of registering a trust, the particulars, the documents involved, the timelines, and you may be asked to draft a trust deed. That is a very, very important act. The next class, I want us to do 3 hours so that we can cover a lot in the afternoon because our time is over. Between 6 to 9. Is it okay with everyone?
It's fine with me.
Sorry?
It's okay with me. It's okay.
And I asked to extend within 1 hour.
Yeah, it also works for me. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, great.
Yeah, sawa. So the time is over. Let us meet at 6. Log in time. I'm sharing the details right now after this. And be prepared. We are going to start 2C. We continue, we see until where we are going to finish. Then if you don't, of course, we are not going to finish. We're going to continue tomorrow. So see you at that time. And have a nice afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.